Hi, everyone. Marwan. I work at the New York Times, and today we'll talk about migrating the Go community. In particular, I'd like to talk about semantic import versioning in Go modules. Just a show of hands, who knows what semantic import versioning is? Great, so this is a very quick recap. Basically, it is a new rule in the new module system that says if you have a package that is tagged 2 or above in the major part, it must be included in your import path. Otherwise, if you're in the module system, things will not compile. And so, of course, this goes at great explanation and great length of explanations. But before I read most of it, I opened a GitHub issue. And I said, how are we going to migrate the Go community? Go is about a decade old, and so there are already a lot of stable packages that are well above version 2, and none of them have v2 or v3 in their import paths. And so Russ suggested a solution where 1.10, 1.9 can understand the new import system, and then also 1.11 is flexible enough to understand the old system and nothing will break. So that's good news. Go 1 compatibility promise is still preserved. But I'd argue that there's still some bad news in that we all have to migrate. We all have to migrate those packages and then the dependencies that import them. So to show a little bit of a demonstration, you could see this little package that imports a subdirectory, and it calls run, and run takes 1 argument. So as you can see, this is the subpackage. Run takes 1 argument, a slice of strings. And if you build it with Go 1.11 and modules on, you get this go.mod file that just says module example because you gave it that name. If you want to introduce a breaking change, then you have go.mod, and you start with v2, because you want to upgrade to your major tag version to v2, and then you introduce your breaking change. So now my run function takes 2 arguments instead of 1. And so then we can go and actually update our main function with the run to have 2 arguments. But notice that we actually had to update the import path as well. Now we have v2 in the import path. So this was easy enough. But what happens when you have tens of sub-packages? What happens when each sub-package has a lot of import paths and you want to update them? It doesn't scale very well at the current moment. And so I wrote a little tool, and it's too trivial to even demo for this part, where you could just say mod upgrade, give it the version, it will traverse all your import paths and update them to the version you want. You can also downgrade to go back 1 version if you're just playing with your package. So this helps me as the author. What about the Go community? So to give it an example, we can introduce a dependency, which is JWT-Go. And we can just do go get JWT-Go, and now we have a new requirement. And you could notice the requirement here says plus incompatible, because JWT-Go has not yet migrated to the module system. So you can see the import path does not have version 3, but it is tagged as version 3. And we want to move along. We want to actually introduce it to Go modules, because this way our build system will be better, because it could read its own go.mod file and resolve dependencies accordingly. So what if the same tool can help migrate the community through your own module? So let's say you have your own project, you have a bunch of dependencies that you kind of care about, and you want to help them move along with you. So I wrote a new subcommand, which is called mod migrate deps. And what this does is it parses your own Go mod file, it looks for all the incompatible imports, and it migrates them to Go modules on your behalf. So let's take a look. I have project Athens here with the go.mod file. And you can see, is it big enough? If I look plus incompatible, you'll see there's about 6 of them. I think it might be better to do here. And so I'd like to move those along to the Go module system. So what I'd like to do here is run this. I don't need to time it anymore. I can run mod migrate deps, and I pass it my GitHub token. This is going to take about a minute because there are 6 packages that need to be upgraded. So in the meantime, I can explain what's going on. If you're reviewing a GitHub PR right now, please don't, because I'm about to spam the GitHub API. Basically, what I'm doing is for every package that is incompatible, I'm git cloning it, and I'm creating a new go.mod file, and I'm doing a go get to install all of its dependencies, because we want to know what they depend on as well with the correct versions. And once that's done, we actually do we shell out to git tag and see what's the latest major version that they're on. And so I run the same package that I showed you earlier, which is mod upgrade. I upgrade to whatever version it's supposed to be. So it will upgrade its own import paths. Once that is done, it will talk to the GitHub API. As you can see, I passed the GitHub token. So on my behalf, it's going to create a fork. And from that fork, it will actually do git add, git commit, and all of that. And it will open all the browser things for you, if the internet is good. And then you have a PR to open to help the community migrate. So all you need to do is click compare, and then you'll see they have a new thing, and their import versions are updated accordingly. So even for sub-packages and all of that. And so for now, I have 1.5 minutes to open 6 PRs for packages that have probably never heard of me. And I can write whatever I want. Let's look for one that I believe the author is sitting right here. And so I can compare. I have UUID. You can look at the dependencies. I think a lot of the Go Buffalo stuff is not upgraded to Go modules yet. And so I could write whatever I want. You could see it's all updated. And since he's here and he knows me, I'm going to just say, you're welcome, and create the PR. As for the rest of them, I will probably look a little more into it. And this could help everybody migrate to the new Go module system. So Go is experiencing important changes, and let's help make the transition easier for all of us by writing tools that helps everybody around you, and not just the author. Thank you.